They called themselves visionaries. The outside world called them dangerous. And yet, without them, the world you're living in right now might not exist. This is the story of a cult that believed the future could be engineered, designed like a machine, and summoned into being. A group of dreamers and outcasts who, in trying to escape the world, ended up shaping it. It began quietly, in the shadows of California in the mid-20th century. Not in the glimmering towers of Silicon Valley we know today, but in strange gatherings, in desert communes, in cluttered rooms where incense mixed with the smell of soldering wires. They weren't scientists in lab coats. Many were poets, mystics, wanderers. But they shared one conviction, that the future wasn't something to wait for. It was something to build. They were obsessed with computers, not as cold machines, but as vessels of liberation. Some believed that through technology, humanity could transcend its limits, maybe even reach something divine. To outsiders, it looked like madness. To insiders, it was destiny. At the heart of this movement was a paradox. On one side, utopian ideals. On the other, rigid hierarchies and strange rituals. Members talked about free love and global consciousness, while following charismatic leaders who demanded loyalty. They preached freedom from systems, yet often created systems of control inside their own circles. And still, out of this tension, something remarkable was happening. Ideas that seemed absurd, like personal computers in every home, or networks that could connect minds across the planet, were being whispered into existence. Decades before the internet became reality, they spoke about it like prophecy. They believed technology wasn't just a tool, it was salvation. If this sounds like science fiction, it's not. Historians now trace many of the seeds of modern Silicon Valley back to these cult-like groups. The counterculture of the 1960s didn't just give us music and protests. It gave us a new way of imagining machines. Think about it. The very device you're watching this on, your phone, your laptop, was shaped not just by engineers at corporations, but by dreamers in communes, L.S.D. experiments, and underground gatherings where people asked questions no one else dared. What if computers could expand consciousness? What if networks could dissolve borders? What if the future wasn't controlled by governments, but by individuals? These questions, once whispered in cult circles, became blueprints for the digital revolution. But here's the part that history often leaves out. For many who followed these movements, the dream turned sour. The utopias collapsed. Leaders were exposed as manipulators. Communes broke apart. Some walked away shattered, disillusioned. Others never walked away at all. And yet, the ideas lived on. Detached from the flawed humans who first carried them, the visions seeped into universities, startups, and eventually, the global economy. It's strange to think about how so many of our modern freedoms and our modern addictions were born from the same place. Today, we live inside the future they imagined, a world where information flows instantly, where technology feels almost sacred, where the line between machine and human blurs more every day. But here's the haunting question. Did we inherit their dream or their delusion? Because the same tools that promised liberation also brought surveillance, loneliness, and distraction. The networks that were supposed to unite us often divide us. It makes you wonder, when a cult invents the future, does the world end up carrying its light or its shadow? The people who once gathered in the desert, scribbling impossible ideas into notebooks, probably never imagined their fingerprints would be on the 21st century. And yet, here we are, living proof that even the strangest visions can outlast the people who dreamed them. Maybe that's the truth about the future. It's never born in boardrooms or parliaments. It's born in the margins, in the places the world dismisses, among people the world misunderstands. Sometimes, even in cults. And maybe the real question isn't what kind of future they gave us, but what kind of future we will leave behind.